And I want to thank each and every person that is on our webinar tonight. We're doing things, we're not doing anything different here at ProTrain than we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years. We're a virtual company. We've been started since 2004, virtual all the way, all the time. So I know that a lot of us are going through a lot of uncertainty during COVID, figuring out what are our jobs going to be like. Do we have a job? Can we get a job? And what does it look like in a virtual world? So we hope that we can put some of those fears that you may have as either a current school partner, a potential school partner, and a student, because we have all 3 different audiences tonight. We have current partners, potential partners, and potential students that may be potential students of our school partners. And we've been doing virtual open houses for years now. So this is nothing different. What is different is we're doing one national tonight. National in that anybody that wants to learn about how they can have job-ready skills and certifications ready for them, the school, the lead, the student. We're all here to learn together. So I want to welcome all of you. We're here to service and support anyone and everyone that we can. So I wanted to make sure I welcomed you. I will tell you that I highly encourage you to use the chat feature, question feature, and we will address all questions and during this, so we don't hear our dogs, our cats, our babies, etc. in the background. It's just common professional courtesy, but everybody's question will be answered, I assure you. And I want you to listen and ask questions that pertain to you, so we can help you, whether you're a partner or a potential student. I also want to make sure that, and I do have some notes here, and I'll put my glasses on. We have 3 different learning modalities that we offer at ProTrain. And one of them we all understand is on a current hold. We do offer in-classroom training, face-to-face. But right now during COVID, we have that on hold due to, obvious reasons. But we also offer online self-paced training. We have approximately 500 plus or minus online self-paced training programs that we have in everything from IT, medical, business, trades, green, hospitality, you name it, we have it. And we pride ourselves on having master's degree instructional system designers creating our programs. We're very proud of the content that we have. And we own probably 80% or more of all of our content. So that means that if you are a student and you have a problem with a question, it's like, that really doesn't make sense. Well, we can look at it and we can evaluate it together. It also means for you, the student, and you, the school partner or potential partner, it means that we constantly update our content. New versions of PMP is coming out all the time. New versions of CompTIA, IT's changing all the time. So we're in control of our own destiny. And that's good for you, the school, and the learner, because you know that our content is always going to be up to date. And you don't have to wonder, well, if I've got a student that's complaining because, oh, this is the older version, you don't have to worry about that with us. We take care of you, the student, and the school partner. And the live online synchronous instructor-led, we've been doing this 3 or 4 years now. And it's always been the beauty of both worlds. If you're a student and you wanted to take a class from a local school that the class keeps getting canceled due to low enrollment, or if you're a school partner and you want to offer a class and you can't do justice by it because you can't get enough enrollment, we offer it nationally, nationwide. So let's say we've got 10 different school partners and we get one student from each school nationwide, then you know who benefits? The school, the student, the instructor, and ProTrain is providing the service. So it's really great because, and I know that Kirsten and Maggie will go into the benefits, but just think about it. When you take a class in person and you only get one shot of listening to the instructor, think about the benefits of taking a live online class that's recorded, such as the session we're doing now, and you can listen to it as many times as you want. Our goal at ProTrain with our school partners and our students is education to employment for your benefit of being successful. That's what it's all about, especially in times of COVID. Oh my goodness, there's so many people unemployed or underemployed. We're here to try to help you be successful. And whether you're one of the 70 people that signed up or one of the people that are actually viewing now, we hope you enjoy our presentation. So next slide, Kirsten, please. So I wanted to do a little bit of introduction and then I'll be quiet. Again, my name is Betty Gardner. I am the CEO of ProTrain and the founder, 100% woman-owned business. So, you know, hopefully that means some things to people out there, because I've worked really hard to try to make a difference in people's lives. Training and workforce development is something that can change all of us. Education is an annuity that we give not only ourselves, but our children, our family members, brothers, sisters, etc. Because if you take a certification class and somebody sees the difference it makes in your life, you may not have any idea the difference it might make in somebody else's life, because they're watching you, they're watching your success, and it's a beautiful thing. And I truly love making impact. So that's why, as I stated earlier, our motto is education to employment. So I've been involved in education my entire adult life. I'd like to introduce Maggie Myers, who has a similar passion. Her entire adult life has been involved with helping people, working at various schools, workforce development. She's very passionate about helping students understand, where have you been, where do you want to go, and how can we get you there, and how can we find a solution to make it fit for your environment. And Kirsten Guthrie is very much just like Maggie and just like myself. Kirsten serves a dual role, quite frankly, due to COVID. I mean, many of you out there have had probably coworkers that have been furloughed, let go. Many of you might be looking for a job. Kirsten has stepped up to the plate. She's not only our training and internship manager, she puts together all the schedules for our in-classroom, our live online instructor-led, but she also manages all of putting together schedules for classes. And she also is working as a training assessment manager in helping our student population in figuring out what's the best thing, the best career pathway for them. So with that, in the next slide, I will turn it over to our training and internship manager, Kirsten. Thank you, Kirsten.
Absolutely. Thank you, Betty. Well, welcome, guys. We're super excited to have you guys tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to meet with us and also see what we have to offer. So to go over what we're going to cover tonight, just so you can keep on track with where we're at in the slides, again, like Betty said, everything's going to be recorded, so don't feel like if life happens and you got to run, don't forget, you'll be able to rewatch it as many times as you would like. So the timeline of what we're going to go over tonight, we went over the introduction, so you met our team. We're going to go over the benefits of live online. Whether you're a partner or a student, we're going to cover all those aspects. We're going to go over how the live online programs are conducted, as they are different from an online self-paced and also an in-classroom program. We're going to go over the student requirements of what you'll need to be able to take one of our courses. we're going to go over the live online programs, which is really exciting because this is what we're offering for this fall, including into 2021. Yes, we're almost there. The next thing we're going to go over is how to enroll, how to register, whether you're a potential client or a potential partner. We're going to go over how you can enroll students. We're going to go over the completion of a program. What are the next step as a student? And then what else we have to offer as ProTrain. And then we'll open it to any questions. So we'll have you guys put any questions you have in the question feature or the chat feature, and we will go over it at the very end of our presentation. But please don't wait till the end to put your questions. Put them in as soon as you're thinking about it. So the first thing that we're going to go over is the benefits of live online. Like Betty said, we've been doing this for a few years now. So we've kind of worked out all the kinks, right? So the best thing that you'll be able to do is attend anywhere. You'll be able to attend if you're on the road for business or whether you're at home and you want to keep your kids at home to not have to pay for childcare, which is really great. I'm right there with you guys. So you'll be able to learn from anywhere. Now, the instructional time is with an instructor. So you're going to go over the curriculum one-on-one with your instructor and your classmates. So you won't have to travel to a campus, pay for parking, hope you got dinner before you went. You'll be able to enjoy everything from the comfort of your home, even in your pajamas if you'd like. The sessions are recorded every class period, so you can rewatch as many times as you need to. Or if you miss a section or if you're absent for a day, you'll be able to rewatch until your heart desires. Those recordings are saved in our learning management system for students and potential partners to view at any point. The next thing we're going to go over is how live online programs are conducted. What's great? So as soon as you enroll, whether you're enrolling from a partner standpoint where you're enrolling a student into our program, these are the next steps. If you're a student, here's what you can look forward to. You're going to receive a welcome email. In that welcome email, which will come in 2 business days, we'll have your login information to our learning management system. That will also have our registrar's information and our technical team if you have any difficulties getting in. The next thing that you'll receive from us is a class schedule. Each of our live online schedules has a set date and time that you will meet with your instructor and classmates. You will log into your learning management system to access that platform. We have a great partnership with Zoom. It's built into our LMS, it's easy to access, and you'll be able to use all the really great features of raising your hand, saying I need to take a break, go faster and slower, and the chat feature. You'll also be able to see your instructor just like you're seeing me right now. The other thing our learning management system has that you'll have access to is your quizzes, your midterm, and final. Everything is electronically graded, so you'll know instantly how you're doing in your program. The other thing that we add in there is any additional resource that we can provide to you as a student. We want you to be successful in the program, so we provide you additional exam practices and also additional PowerPoint slides or anything else that we can offer. Our national exams, we give you additional information to be able to study material and also practice questions that are provided from our national vendors. Now I'll turn it over to Maggie.
Hey everybody. So student requirements to enroll in our classes we're looking for you to be 18 years of age or older, to have a high school diploma or GED, and to have a personal or work email address, and a laptop or desktop system with speakers and a mic. We do have specific guidelines on the operating system requirements, Microsoft Windows 7 or 10, or a Mac system with an operating system of 10 or higher. These guidelines are very specifically laid out at the bottom of every course outline that we have, so all the details are there and laid out for anybody to review. Internet connectivity requirements are very specific as well. We want to make sure that you have no glitches with the resources that we have in your class instructions. So cable and DSL internet connections are recommended for the best experience. And we have a link provided here, so when you receive this this PowerPoint presentation in your email this week, it's got a high-speed test that you can do to make sure that you meet those guidelines for your system requirements.
Thank you, Maggie. So what we're going to go over, and it'll be broken up into 3 different sections. The first section of classes that we're going to go over with you guys tonight is our business certifications. So on the left-hand side, you're going to see all the programs that we're about to cover with you, which we're really excited about because as you can see, all the ones at the top of the list will have a certification exam available to them. And then our soft skills for the workplace will complement all of those programs. So the first program we're going to go into, and before I go into the program, I'm going to kind of explain what each of the slides are going to look like, just so you'll know where to guide your eyes. So at the top of the program, you're going to have the title of the program. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the quick facts. This is really good information for you to pay attention to because it'll have the median pay, what you can expect in that field, along with how many job opportunities are nationwide. So the programs that we choose, we make sure that there is a need in as many areas so it's close to home for you guys, including for your students that you might be looking to pursue into this program. Right below that, you're going to see a short description of the program. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to break down a little bit more detail. The first thing we're going to go over is the hours. Then we're going to go over the certification exams, if there are any for the program. Then we're going to cover just some topics of the program. And then right below that, you're going to see the upcoming schedule, the best part, right? So we're going to go over that on each of the slides for you guys tonight. And then again, if you have specific questions, please put it in the chat or question feature. And then also, if you're interested at the very end of our presentation, we're going to go over how you can reach into getting our full outline of each program. There is more information available. We just wanted to touch on some key points. So the first program I'm going to go over with you tonight is the Associate Professional in Human Resources, aPHR for short. This program is 21 hours live online with an instructor and 135 hours self-paced online. This program will prepare you to take the HR Certification Institute aPHR certification exam. Some of the topics that you'll cover in the program is business management, leadership and strategy, talent planning and acquisition, learning and development, employee and labor relations, employee engagement. And again, you can see the listing of the dates and times coming up. So January 27th will be our first kickoff session.
So Bookkeeping Administration is one of my favorite courses that we offer for a couple of reasons. One, because it covers the fundamentals of accounting and QuickBooks program. But what I love about it, and it's very popular with our partners, many of our partners, is because it's a multifaceted program that can give skills to our students that allows them to apply for many different job opportunities. So it can cover administration, administrative assistant with a financial twist to it. It can give somebody an opportunity to apply for accounts payable, accounts receivable, any kind of an accounting assistant type job. So you have 36 live online hours with the instructor, 100 self-paced online hours. You get the introduction to accounting, accruals and deferrals, the financial statements, closing procedures, and general accounting procedures. And again, like Kirsten says, at the end of it, you can sit for the certification exam to get your QuickBooks certification. We're lucky enough to have a class that's kicking off on October 5th that we're pretty excited about. And then we have some classes in 2021. So Certified Associate in Project Management is another really popular class. So we have a lot of professionals that are adding the project management, the CAPM certification onto their resume. It's, again, another stackable skill that can just enhance you and make you look more marketable in the business world. So this is a 40-hour live online with an instructor. It sets you up for the CAPM certification exam. It does have requirements in order to sit for those that are spelled out in the outline. And you learn the analyzing risk and planning risk responses, closing a project, developing a project from beginning to end, schedules, costs, budgets, and initiating a project and planning it and procurement for it. So again, this is another class that we still have a kickoff time for this year. So we have a class starting in October, and then we have schedules going into 2021.
So I'm really excited about the next program I'm going to talk about, which is the CompTIA IT Fundamentals and Customer Service Representative. So this is the new one that we just launched, which is really exciting. So this will help individuals that are interested in getting into the help desk career, or if they're looking to get their foot in the door in a customer service representative position, but then also give you some of that IT experience just to support you in the position. So this program is live online with 36 hours, 164 hours online self-paced. This course is a bundled course, so you'll be able to take the IT fundamentals and the customer service, which will then allow you to sit for both exams, which is really exciting to be able to group them together. So you're going to be able to add 2 credentials to your resume all at one time, which is great. Now, the course will cover what to expect with customer service, exceptional customer service, which we all want to get better at, and then also critical workplace skills, and then the core components of the workplace. I'm really excited that this course is going to kick off October 7th, so make sure you register. We'll love to see you there.
And Kirsten, that's great information. And I know that you have structured all of your slides to be where everybody can, just look and see quick facts, median pay, what's the education level, a little blurb and the hours and things. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we at ProTrain, we try to structure everything so when you're looking at an outline or a slide from us, that everything is put in the same place for your convenience.
Absolutely, and everything that you're seeing tonight will be sent to you, so you'll be able to print it out, post it on your wall, and register when you're ready. So the next program that we're going to go over is Human Resources Professional. So this is more key towards the person who's already been in the HR field, who has a few years under their belt to have those requirements to sit for the HR exam. So this is 36 live online hours. You'll be able to sit for either the HRCI exam or the SPHR exam. Some of the topics that you'll cover in class is business management, leadership and strategy, talent planning and acquisition, learning and development, total rewards, and employee labor relations and employee engagement, which is always exciting, right? So the next course is going to kick off October 5th. Okay, the next course that we're going to go over is Project Management Professional Exam Prep. This is for the individual who wants to add something to their resume, build upon the skills that they already have in the workplace. You may have already taken the CAPM and you want the next step. This is that stackable skill for you. This is 40 hours live online with an instructor. You're going to be able to sit for the Project Management Professional, the PMP for short, certification exam. Now you'll see the requirements right here. We did want to list these for you guys, whether you're a partner looking to put a student in or if you're an active student looking to enroll. These are the requirements to sit for the exam. Now what's great is you can go through the program if you're just shy on some of these years and or skills that you would need. As long as you have it before you go to sit for the exam, you're good to go. Some of the topics that the course will cover is analyzing project risk, planning project procurement, planning project quality, and staffing and communications. And our next program is going to kick off October 8th.
So Six Sigma Green Belt exam prep class is another real popular one for the business world. It's a stackable skill, again, enhancing anybody's resume. So it's 24 hours of live online, 21 hours of self-paced online, and it's working on building responsive Six Sigma Six Sigma organization skills, recognizing and capitalizing on an opportunity, data-driven management, maximizing resources, and measurement of system evaluations. Again, we have a class kicking off in October that we're pretty excited about enrollments on, and we have classes coming up in 2021. This has been a really popular class, and again, you know, if you're looking to add the family in there, we also have the Black Belt course available for a self-paced program. We don't have that for the live online, but we do have the live online for the Green Belt. So the soft skills is a great course all the way along for any person in the business world. So for anybody who's just starting out in the workforce to anybody who's been in it, sometimes we all need a refresher on just conflict resolutions, communication strategies, presentation skills. I don't know anybody in this world that couldn't use a little bit of a refresher on time management and stress management skills. So this is just a great opportunity to add and enhance anybody's resume. We have a really comprehensive soft skills selection of courses. The workforce one is just one of those that we teach live online. This is great for our partners that are looking to offer this to local companies in their area. It's a great package for like employees, you know, that are being hired on for new employee packages. So this is a great opportunity for that sort of thing. So, you know, getting in touch with our business development manager, Kelly Ajmal, this is a great product to talk to her about for those opportunities.
Absolutely. So now we're going to go into our healthcare certifications. So as you can see on the left-hand side, here are some of the programs that we're about to go over with you guys. What's really exciting is a few of these even have internships. So let's jump right on in. So the first program we're going to go over is a new program, which is awesome. So our EKG Technician Career Prep. It's 39 hours live online with an instructor and 39 hours self-paced online. This program does not come with an internship, but we go in depth into watching videos, instructors actually presenting the information to our students, so it's not a necessity. One of the things that it will prepare our students for is an NHA EKG Technician Certification exam, so they'll be able to sit for that national recognition. The course will cover anatomy and physiology of the heart and the cardiovascular system, conjunctional I'm gonna slaughter that. This is why I'm not an EKG instructor, guys. And you're gonna review the EKG scans. So what's really great is they're gonna go in depth to make sure you fully understand in the healthcare field how to complete those items. And our class will kick off February 10th. The next one is really great for you guys if you are, whether you're a partner or a student and you're looking to get into the medical field, but you're not quite sure where you're ready for. So our medical administrative assistant is kind of those frontline individuals that you see when you walk in that are meeting and greeting you. This is the best course for them to get started when they don't necessarily know if they want to be back end, but where they want to be at the front end of the office. This program is 70 hours live online with an instructor, 10 hours self-paced, and we have a 80-hour internship that can be purchased with the program. This course will allow them to sit for the CMAA, the Certified Medical Administrative Assistant, through NHA. The course will cover the competency-based education and medical assistant student information. It'll also go over the professional behavior in the workplace, how to answer the phone, how to respond to emails, how to take client information. You'll also learn the medicine and the law side of everything. The next program is going to kick off October 20th, so we're really excited to have you guys join if you want to get started in the healthcare field.
So the medical assistant is another really popular class with us. We've been running it for years very successfully. It has evolved and been updated recently. We have a new book, and it's been completely revamped this year. So it's 93 hours of live online and 100 hours self-paced program. It prepares the students for the NHA CCMA certification. They learn, it's a cross-training basically, because it does teach them a little bit about appointment scheduling, the written office communication. So it goes a little bit into the front office. It also goes into a little bit and introduces them to medical billing and coding, the insurance billing. And I love that about that, because in smaller offices, they don't have the money to hire a lot of staff. So sometimes they have to share responsibilities. It also goes into the infection control and the medical interview process, the vital signs, physical examinations, medical terminology, and assisting with minor surgery information. So again, this is just a really popular course. We run this particular program multiple times a year. And on average, we can have anywhere between 12 to 25 people in a class. So across the United States, we have a good turnout on this program for our students and for our partners. The next class is launching in February, and we'll run it a couple times in 2021.
Thanks, Meg. And it also is really great if you're coming in and you're watching from a partner standpoint. This is really big for you to be able to reach out to local hospitals to get your foot in the door and offer this program also. It's really big.
So medical billing coding is another really popular course as well. It's 100 hours of live online with an instructor, 60 hours self-paced online. It does prepare the students to take the NHA Billing and Coding Specialist certification exam. It also does prepare a student if they choose to add for the HEMA certification, which is just the coding exam, and that's an additional cost. Many of our live online courses have the choice for a student to purchase the course with or without the exam. The AHEMA exam would be an additional cost for the medical billing and coding. But a lot of employers are looking for that AHEMA certification. So I always coach my students to consider looking at both of those. The billing and coding is really the primary one that they need, and the HEMA can help make them more marketable in the marketplace. So the course does go over the role of an insurance billing specialist, the privacy, security, and the HIPAA rules and regulations that are now in place and have been since 2015, the compliance, fraud, and abuse policies, the insurance, the blue plans, private insurance, reimbursement, and again, HIPAA and compliance processes, and how to process insurance. So we're really excited. Our next class is launching in February 3rd in 2021, and we'll run another one later in the year. Kirsten?
Thank you, Maggie. So the next program we're going to go over is our pharmacy technician. This is one of our hot sellers. This is individuals that are, if you're a partner, you can advertise this to high school students that are about to graduate that are 18 years or older. You can also be in the workplace and want to completely change to healthcare. This is one of our really top selling programs because it has an internship attached. So the program is broken into 64 hours live online, 64 hours online self-paced, and 120 hours through the internship. Now, I do want to add, which is really great. So 2 things that we saw that students in the pharmacy world usually struggle with, and we want to make sure they're prepared for, is the pharmacy math and medical terminology. So we actually add those 2 programs into this program, which is in that 64 hours online. The course will prepare them to take the PTCB exam, which is the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board exam. This is nationally recognized and can be transferred anywhere. The course will allow you for the hours to be able to sit for the exam. Now, what's really great about our internship, we have a national agreement with CVS and Walgreens, so no matter where you're at in the US, we are able to place students We also can place at a local facility if a student brings that to the table, but we do have that national agreement in case they don't. Some of the topics that the class will cover is the history of medicine in the pharmacy world, along with communication and the role of a technician with a customer and a patient, because they will need to interact, like at a CVS, they'll interact with the customers, checking them out and going over the medicine. They'll also go over the conversions and calculations in the pharmacy billing and inventory management, because they will be in contact with all of that information. Our next course is kicking off October 19th. We're really excited, and then we'll run this throughout the entire year. So what's next? So this is my favorite field, just me personally, is our information technology and certifications. So the next 3 slides that we're going to go over is the A Plus, Net Plus, and Security Plus. So let's jump right on in. So our A Plus program is one of my favorites because it gets you started to where you can be in a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 help desk opportunity. Our program is live online, 40 hours with an instructor and 16 hours online. It'll prepare you to sit for the 1001 and the 1002 with CompTIA. Some of the topics that you'll cover in this course is troubleshooting, computer power supplies, computer expansions, input and output devices, and also dual input output devices, and many more topics. As you guys know, if you're familiar with the IT field, there's a lot of topics you'll cover. One of the biggest highlights of this program that I like is you'll be able to do virtual labs. So you'll be able to actually test and move things along with a computer, so you can actually practice the things that you're learning throughout the program. Our next offering will be January 19th, and will run throughout the entire year. So the next program, which is a stackable skill to A+, whether you have already taken A+ back in the day, or if you just took it, the next program that you would want to take in succession would be the Network Plus. This program is 30 hours live online with an instructor and 18 hours self-paced. This will prepare you to sit for the N10007 exam. The course will cover networking concepts, installation and configuration, media and topology, network management, and network security. Again, this class does come with the virtual labs, so you'll be able to test all your networking skills on throughout the program. The next program will kick off November 3rd and run throughout the entire year. So the next stackable skill is Security Plus. This program is 30 hours live online with an instructor, 18 hours online self-paced, and it'll prepare you to sit for the SY0501. This course will cover network security, compliance and operational security, threats and vulnerabilities, application data, host and security, access control and identity management, along with cryptology. And again, you'll have the practice labs along with this program also, and the next offering will start November 3rd. Now, what I do want to pause and go over is you can purchase all 3 at one time, or you can purchase them individually and do it as a stackable skill. The other thing with these programs is you'll have a post-assessment and a post-test that'll go over multiple questions that'll prepare you for the national exam. And each of the components has that available to it, which will be really great. And I'll go back to Maggie.
All right, so to get registered for the courses, you can call the 800 number, 844-292-8641, and reach our training assessment manager team, or email to enroll@protrainedu.org. We have school websites set up for all of our partners. So if you have a local school partner in your area, you'll just go to their specific school site, find the course that you're interested in, and some schools have e-commerce sites set up to where you can just click on it, add to cart and pay, just like Amazon. Some schools you can just request information, and then that lead comes to our attention, and we'll send you specific information about the course, and then we'll have conversations about registration process and answer your questions and have the dialogue to go through whatever your needs are. payment options are at the decision of our partners. So not all partners offer all payment options that we do have available, so we abide by whatever their requests are. The payment options that we do offer to our partners and to our students, if the partners allow, are either self-pay, you can pay for the course in full. We do have a loan company that we work with that offer loans to our students. Payment plan that is conducted through ProTrain directly. WIOA funding that is for the unemployed, underemployed through your workforce in your local community. And MyCAA, which is a benefit for certain military spouses for their spouse that fit certain criteria. And again, you know, we're happy to work with individuals on a case-by-case basis on any of these funding options, figuring out what school you're near, what your needs are, and going over all these options with you on a phone call. Kirsten.
Yes, so what happens when you have completed of the program? Whether you're a partner or a student at this point, we will send a completion of the course to the student. You'll receive it whether it'll come from the school directly or it'll come from ProTrain. You'll receive it in the form of a PDF to your email. If you purchased an exam voucher with your course, you'll be able to request the voucher once the course is completed, and you'll be able to send it to our team. If you need to purchase the exam at the end of the course, you can email us at enroll@protrainedu.org, or you can call the sales team, us, at 844-292-8641.
I actually just needed to come off mute right then. I'm very appreciative of the information that you have shared. I hope that the people that are on with us live or that will be joining us in the recorded session, I hope you can see the passion and the seriousness that we take. I take every single school partner that we have very serious, and every student that we have, because it's about us helping them meet their goals of education to employment. It's all about all of our reputations. So whether you are a current school partner, you may be a partner, a potential partner just listening on this webinar to say, who are these ProTrain people? You may be a current student or a potential student. We're going to take care of you no matter who you are. And I mean that sincerely, because life is too short. So what we do offer is connect anytime online with our with our online self-paced 500 plus or minus programs. You still have a person to connect to. You got technical support, you got our registrar, and we'll answer any question that you have. Right now during COVID, the live online instructor led is, I think like Kirsten said, going gangbusters, because not everybody wants to be alone in taking an online class, and we get that. So the only difference between the live online instructor led and in classroom is we're just not in the classroom. I can't shake your hand. It's the same thing, but the extra benefits, as we have discussed, is we record the sessions, and you can watch them as many times as you want to set yourself up and your students up for success. Because I don't know about you all, but when I was a student, failure was not an option, and I would have enjoyed having recorded sessions instead of having to read the book over and over again. But we're doing everything we can to have high success rates, because we're all being judged more and more about success rates with WIOA, with MyCAA, with military, whoever's paying for it. We as schools are being judged more and more about how our students are completing. And we want our students, students and potential students, that are on this call to realize we're going to do everything that we can for you. We're going to do our part to set you up for success, and we need you to be successful. And we'll help you find any school that's near you to create your future for education to employment. I am going to read the Q&A that we have had, as I have been, as others have also been answering questions live, but I'm going to go through, because some of these, on the Q&A, some of them, we answer them privately, but I think everybody needs to know everybody's questions. So, how is attendance recorded? Great question. And I'll have a pause at the end to see if any of my colleagues want to add to. But how is attendance recorded? I had answered, we physically take attendance in our live online class, and as it's recorded, we know when anyone leaves early. For our online self-paced programs, we can tell you to the second when a person is in a program and how many minutes, times, hours that they're in there. Obviously for in-classroom, our in-classroom instructor records that. I will pause to see if any of my staff has anything to add to that question.
Yeah, the only thing that I'll add too is for our partners, if you need additional access to an attendance report, we can provide that to our partners. Our partners do receive a weekly progress report on active students in the live online programs.
Awesome, thank you, Kirsten. Next question that we had, can students be co-enrolled in one of your training programs while pursuing their GED? Absolutely, yes, all of our programs are on the 10th and 11th grade reading level, and why wouldn't it make sense for somebody getting their GED to be able to go get a medical assisting or a CompTIA IT or any other type of program, because we want our collective students to be able to get training to go get a JOB for PAY while they're trying to get their GED. Was that enough acronyms for everybody? Anybody on my team have any statement to make about that? Okay. Can students use FAFSA, GI Bill, or MyCAA to cover the cost? Well, that's an excellent question. It really does depend upon the school. Some of our school partners, should the continuing ed side decide about GI Bill, we can discuss that. FAFSA, not so much, that's academic. MyCAA, all over the place. Our programs are CE, and we work with our partners to cover MyCAA, and we've been doing it since 2007. And I'd love to speak with anybody that wants to explore that opportunity. And a lot of these questions are, let's just sit down, like we're at a Starbucks having a conversation, and we can figure out a lot of things together. I can tell you there's so many people of our school partners and our student population and potential leads that we're just having honest conversations with each other about how can I, number one, stay in business? How can I add to my business? And how can I take a class? And how can I take a class to get a job? So we're just real people wanting to help you all. Another question was, are the certification exams associated with each program at an external cost to the student? Great question. Don't know if it was a student, don't know if it was a potential school partner or existing one. But we actually, depending upon what our school partner wants, we can add the exam as a bundle with the course, or we can have it as an option for the student to add on either at the beginning or the end based on their comfort level with how they're taking the course. We are extremely flexible at ProTrain with our partners. So if you want to talk about that, Miss Kelly, we'll talk about it, because we will do either one that you prefer. Another question Would a partnership with ProTrain compete with other online learning programs we participate with? Absolutely not. We don't compete at all. You pick and choose online and live online instructor-led based programs based on your needs. We understand that sometimes on the academic side, I'll just give you an example. There may be paralegal on the academic side. There may be a nursing program. But then on the continuing ed side, they're not allowed to offer it because it's seen as competition. So we allow our partners to pick and choose whatever they want. We customize a website for you, by you, based on your decisions. It is not, let's just put it this way, it's not what ProTrain's rules are, it's what you desire. That's what we do. Do you offer virtual open houses for individual partner schools? Absolutely. We've been doing that for years. Due to COVID, we actually decided to do this national one to try to get some spark and interest and some livelihood in people. But Maggie, you might even want to talk about that. You've been doing virtual open houses for private schools for years.
For the last 4, and we've been doing specialty ones based on specific courses. So I've done them specifically for MA or pharmacy tech, EKG, medical billing, coding for specific programs.
Yeah, we wanted to do one tonight nationally to give you all a flavor, no matter whether you're an existing or perhaps a future partner or a current or a student or a future student, just to let you know the types of things that we have. But we do things nationally for everybody, but we also love to do things intimately for our partners, because you have certain leads and certain needs that you have, and we work together to do that on your behalf. And by the way, it's at no charge, because as a partner, that's what we are. We're an extension arm of your division, your unit. I have one last question here. Who sets up the internships? Well, that's a great question. We do. We actually have the insurance liability for ProTrain, that we add our school partners to our list of insured, that we take care of it, and we add whatever facility that it is, we add that school and that site to our insurance, and the school does not have to have any liability, does not have to do anything except say they want to offer the program and they want us to do internships. So I hope that helps. Does anyone else have any other questions? Because I think this has been wonderful, and it's been very intimate, and I like it to be intimate. We all go to trade shows and there's like so many people and you can't talk to anybody and it's so loud. So, I mean, having a virtual webinar, a virtual conference, we're all allowed to be able to hear one another. So I'll look and see if there's any other questions, and then I'm going to ask my ProTrain team members, do they have any other additional comments? But I will tell you, it's meant the world to me to be able to have this intimate session. You will get a recording. And so far we have answered every question, but I'm still going to monitor questions. But anybody on the ProTrain team that would like to have a question or a comment for each other or for the group, please go now.
Absolutely. Betty, we do have one question from Nancy. It's, what is the financial benefit to our CE department?
Oh, that's an excellent question. And Nancy, I'm not quite sure what school you're with, so I'm not going to like scramble to look that up there. But what we do at ProTrain is, I mean, we revenue share. We build a free website for you. You can have e-commerce or not. E-commerce means we collect the money and send you a check. Non-e-commerce means you collect the money and we send you an invoice. And typically a school will receive on online self-paced courses anywhere between 17 and 33%. And you may say, well, why is such a difference? Well, some classes are only $165. Some classes are a couple of grand. So, you know, you've got to share the revenue in the best way that it can be, because instructors cost money, books cost money, etc. And then there is a revenue share for the live online. And when in-classroom comes back, there is as well. If you'd like more information on that, please, we will contact you at your convenience, and we can go over in a more intimate situation and explain and answer any and every question you have. But we're doing it with 200 plus or minus schools right now, and we've been doing this for 16 years. And I assure you, I would not have quit my job from NC State University to start ProTrain if I didn't believe in what I was doing. So we'd love to talk with you. I hope that helps answer your question. Did you see any more questions, Kirsten?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. Anybody else on the ProTrain team that would like to speak?
I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that joined us tonight. We look forward to talking with you on the phone soon, hopefully enrolling you guys in upcoming classes and or adding our courses to your website to help your students. But I'm really excited to see you guys joining us tonight and look forward to talking to you.
Thank you, Kirsten. And Renee, I wanted to say thank you for your lovely comment that the website that was built for you was awesome. We do take great pride. I mean, it looks real super easy, but let me tell you, there's been a lot of years of work that has been put into being able to create the websites for our partners, e-commerce, non-e-commerce, SEO, all the banner ads, all the pure chat and the response IQs. And, you know, ProTrain pays for all of that to try to help you as our partners, potential partners, and you as our students and potential students, so we can respond to you in a timely fashion. We really do. Anyone else on the ProTrain team? Because I know we are approaching 7:58 and I don't want to intrude upon anybody's time. So I will pause for the calls.
No, I just wanted to say thank you all. Like Kirsten and Betty said, thank you for joining us. I hope the information was helpful, and I'll look forward to talking to anybody that would like more information about our programs, our processes, and any partners that want to start adding other services or would like to know more about the programs. I'd love to educate our partners on what we have to offer.
I thank you, Maggie. And whether you were on our call live or if you see it later because of the recording, everybody will get a link. And I thank you all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and stay safe and stay well. And thank you for your time.